Hatta yeri geliyor. Ülkemizden
They are testing us from New Zealand, says the Turkish president. He has made the New Zealand mosque attacks into a political campaign speech, galvanizing his base with a fear of rising Islamophobia. At this rally on Saturday, he actually showed parts of the live-streamed mass murder along with the suspect's manifesto set to ominous music. It's now criminal to possess or share the video in New Zealand. The country has launched an inquiry into how, of course, these attacks could have happened. It's an impulse to say that what happened here in Christchurch is a shock, not at all representative of the real New Zealand. It's understandable to hear people say that, and many of them mentioned that the man accused of mass murder is in fact an Australian. The impression is that hate was imported. But is that actually accurate? All those wrenching notes, all those "this is not us" sentiments are real. But there's also an uncomfortable question: what was missed? The terror suspect was not on watch lists in Australia or New Zealand, but he was active online with hate speech and seems to have connected with at least some New Zealanders. And New Zealanders have targeted mosques before in Christchurch, neo-Nazis showing up with pigs' heads, according to Paul Spoonley. He's been studying hate in New Zealand since the 80s, says white supremacy is on the rise.
And in the wake of the events, there are comments, unfortunately, which indicate support for his view, including from New Zealanders.
Certainly those grieving say they've been screaming about fears for a long time.
That the people in the mosque at Linwood have been surveilled for the last 20 years. Because the war on terror peddled Islamophobia and it normalized it.
Some of those still in pain are people who've been actively alerting authorities. Alia Dansaisen and others spent nearly a year fighting to get a group off Facebook that was claiming to be New Zealand-based. Its members boasted about burning Muslims in cages. They couldn't get them down.
My friend lost her son here. When I hugged her last night, one of the things that she said was that we tried to prevent this. We being she and I. And we've met with ministers, we've met with agencies time and time again, and we'll see.
And then the warnings that went to police back in 2017. Pete Bradall took his concerns to cops about members of his gun club talking about mass shooters.
They were most definitely Islamophobic. When I informed the arms officer in person, I was basically told, oh, they're just a bunch of silly old duffers down there. That's how they are. Don't worry about them. They're fine. They've always been like that. Well, yeah, that's not okay.
The man who attacked those mosques was a member of that gun club. Bradall has met him, has a nagging feeling he might have been one of the big talkers.
I was alarmed by a great number of members, and there was one in particular that really, really scared me.
So now what? How seriously will concerns be taken? There are hints of change. A consortium of New Zealand advertisers, including telecoms and banks, have pulled their ads from Facebook, are suggesting a boycott after the live streaming of the video. And then there's the 18-year-old who appeared in that court, now the first person since 1977 charged with inciting racial hatred, accused of distributing the wretched video with posting a picture of the Al Noor Mosque with the words "Target acquired" emblazoned on it. He could go to jail for years. So there's some determination to act, but now the worst has already happened. Rosie, when you talk with people here in New Zealand about inflammatory speech, they sometimes bring up Canadians. So there was a couple of Canadians last year who went on a speaking tour. They were talking about what they considered the scourge of immigration. They were saying things that were considered deeply Islamophobic. And there was such a protest about them that they were actually stopped from speaking at their venue in Auckland. People were really worried about it.